What's up everyone, I'm going to show you guys how to play Omni-Man in Mortal Kombat 1. I know he just came out, but I've been labbing him and honestly he's not a very hard character, he's super easy. So if you're just getting into the game, if you're new to fighting games in general, then Omni-Man is a very good pick because not only is he easy to play, he's very straightforward, doesn't have anything too complicated, and his combos are super easy to hit as well. So with this character guide, I will talk about his best moves, his general game plan. I will also show you some combos you can do. So hopefully this will help you get started with Omni-Man very quickly instead of just labbing this stuff yourself, right? Also, I have a Discord with a bunch of awesome people that want to learn and get better at Mortal Kombat 1. The link to it is in the description of the video, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at MK. Alright, so let's get into his normals. He has a forward 2, that's an overhead, right? But it is so a negative on block. You just want to be careful if you play him. You don't want to throw this out, and you know, at a 28 frames startup, like, it's pretty reactable. Next, when it comes to his other normals, you know, he has a good jab, 7 frame startup, that's pretty good. He also has a 2 string, that's 9 frame startup. This is 7 frames startup, so it's really good. And if you'll notice, 2-2 on block is -1. 1-2 is +3. So this is gonna be really good. You're gonna want to stagger 1-2 a lot with this guy. So his down 1 is pretty, I mean, it's fast, you know, it's 7 frame startup. However, it's like the range is really bad, dude. Not the furthest reaching down one ever, but at least you'll be able to steal some turns with it because it is 7 frames startup. His other pokes, he has his back 4, and the cool thing about this back 4 is that, sure, it's -7, so technically you have to block after. However, it does push them back a bit, right? So it gives you some leeway, but I would still block after this. However, if you do it on hit, like, it completely knocks them down, so it's like that right there can give you OK for some pressure. And obviously once you knock them down, you want to go into a mid. So let's talk about his mids. He has back 1 and he has forward 4. Now forward 4 is extremely slow, it's 17 frames startup, but you know, it is an advancing mid and it moves pretty far, as you can see, right? Kind of reminds me of Cassie's back 2. I'm sorry, I keep talking about Cassie's back 2, but I miss it, bro. I miss mids. This also, you know, moves him pretty far. And if you do 1-1, it's a freaking launcher, so it's gonna be really good to like use in neutral, throw out, go for a full combo punish. Now, as far as his 2-2 goes, notice that the second hit is an overhead, so this is going to be really good, especially if you want to use Kung Lao with him. You want to do the low hat hold and then go for this string, you know, to get a hard to blockable, and then you can actually, you know, confirm into a combo off of this, and you'll get some pretty decent damage if you use Lao with him. Now let's look at the 3 full strings he has. He's pretty safe on block. If you do 1-2-2, that's actually 0 on block, so it is neutral. Like, you don't necessarily have to block, but you are right in their face. So you could try to be cheeky, try to go for a 1-2. Then he has 2-2-2, which is also 0 on block. And it has some substantial pushback if you do it like mid-screen, not in the corner. Like, it pushes. It looks like they're in block stun for a bit. Let me check that out. Yeah, so it takes a bit until you can actually like try to punish him, and you can't with this. So you really have to block after Omni-Man does this. So this is going to be very good to pressure people on block with Omni-Man because of the block stun. Now the other thing you want to do on block, again, as I said, 1-2 is +3. You want to do that. Then either back up, do his back 1 launcher. I mean, you can try to go for his forward 4-1 launcher. You know, it's still safe-ish on block, it's -6. You won't get punished for this, you won't get, you can't really get jailed. However, it's 17 frame startup, so like you really want to do 1-2, back up, back 1, or 1-2, 1-2 again, and then hit confirm into a full combo. So generally speaking, on block with him, for block pressure, you want to do 1-1-1, and you can do 1-1 stance, and then do his 3 in the Veramite stance. It is a -1 on block, so you cannot be punished for it, and I tried to see if you can anti-air it, but you cannot. you know, it will hit. I tried to like wait and down to it. I tried to jump up and do some shit, and you actually cannot hit him out of this animation. And it is -1, so that's freaking crazy, dude. So you can do that on block to mix them up as well. So that's sort of the block pressure you want to go for with him. I would also use his back 4, which reminds me of Marisa's in Street Fighter 6. I think it was her down 3 that was like that. It's like a jump punch, but it's really good to like, you know, space them out a bit, push them back. He has some other moves that are pretty negative on block, but like you don't want to do this. His 4-3, don't do this. It's punishable. His 4-2, punishable. Don't do that. Now his back 1, his mid has 2 pads. He has back 1-1. He has back 2. Now back 2 is -6, which again cannot be punished, but his back 1-1 is -7, so you're forced to block after this. And because it is a launcher, you cannot cancel this. So you cannot cancel it into the stands and, you know, make yourself safe with it. So you really want to use his back 1 in neutral, right? Or you can stagger back 1, it's -4, like it's not the best stagger ever. But it is a mid, so like I wouldn't want to stagger this because it's already 12 frame startup, and with -4 advantage this will be like 16 frame startup, so you're probably gonna get blown up for doing this. Now on his forward 4 1 string, he has a grab, right? It's a 1+3. However, you can't do it on block once they're in the air, so it doesn't work on block. And his stance grab also does not work on block. It's not like a command grab or anything like that. So that's it for his normal attacks and his block pressure. Let's look at his special moves. So he has a lot of special moves that like goes full screen. The stance, obviously, right? You can do it full screen. Oops. And he has a few options off of his stance. So he has the grab, right? Which is one of the combo extenders he has. He also has an overhead punch, and off of 4 in the stance he has a combo start, and off of 2 it is a combo ender, which does, you know, a ton of damage, as you see. Now he has a back forward 1, which is a clap. Now if you do it regularly, it doesn't go very far. Like it hits a mid screen, I would say. Yeah, not even here, like you have to be pretty close. But if you amp it, it goes a bit further away. So like this is going to be used as a space control tool, right? If the opponent is coming up on you, you can just slap them in the face. However, at 18 frame startup, it is pretty slow. And the awesome thing about the clap as well is that it will destroy projectiles. So not only can you get into the stands and just wait there and have them throw projectiles at you, you can like destroy them with the clap. He also has another full screen move, which is back forward 4. This is, I mean, yeah, I guess you can do this, however, it's super negative on block, right, if you want to get up on them. But I see it more as a like combo ender. It also has another full screen, almost, you know, advanced tool, which is a back forward 2. At the 12 frames of startup, it's quicker than this one. Right, it's going to be a pretty good at like advancing tool, neutral tool. However, like the recovery is 20 frames, so it's gonna be very dangerous to do because you're going to get punished for it. But this is his wake up attack, right? It has armor. So I wouldn't try to do any of his specials on block, like you're not gonna get any plus frames or anything. The only one you want to do is this, because not only does it parry, it also catches all projectiles. So let's talk about his projectile immunity, because it has to do with his specials. So you can spend 1 bar with the clap and it will eat your opponent's projectiles. Same with the stance. Once you're in it and you just stay in it, it will actually just parry all projectiles thrown at you. So let's see with Katana, because she has better projectiles than Melina, so I want to show you guys how you can avoid like most projectiles with him. Like, you know, just doesn't matter. It's so stupid. So you can use the clap, you know, 1 bar to kill the projectile, but it's really slow startup, so like I was trying to do it on reaction right there. Like it's impossible to do because it's so slow. You have to do it like before she throws this projectile. Honestly, I wouldn't spend a bar to do this, but just know that it's a tool that you have. If I was you, I would just use the stance, because it is way, way better. Now, another cool thing about the stance is that you can do it in the air. So that is why once you pop them up for a combo, you can actually follow up with a jump attack, like a jump 1-2-1. And you can go into the stance right after because you can cancel after jump 1-1 with him. And you can go into the stance and continue a combo. So you can get some really, really good combos with him. That about covers his specials. He doesn't have like anything super amazing, you know, except the stance. It's just really the stance that makes this character invincible. I said the thing. So he has some pretty good utility overall. He has, you know, a decent mid at 12 frames startup. He has another advancing mid that is really slow but covers a lot of ground. And this character, like you'll see, his movement is slow. Like he's not a zoner obviously because he moves slower backwards, moves faster forward. His wave dashing, as you see, is ridiculous. His backdash is slower. So yeah, his movement is pretty good, and he also has another movement tool. In the air, you can jump up, do back L2, forward L2, and he'll, you know, fly forward and backwards, kind of like Nitara. However, notice the recovery at the bottom. It's good, I guess, if you want to get away from an opponent, because the recovery is 36 frames, so they could probably punish you with a projectile. So you don't want to do it like to get in on your opponent. The recovery of the front one is 43 frames. You will get punished to hell and back with this. So probably don't use it. So I would say use this if you want to get away from your opponent or maybe get out of the corner, right? So because he is so slow, this is a character that you really want to play at mid-range. You want to, you know, make your opponent whiff, stagger them, when to back up, back one. Kind of like Katana in a lot of ways. But you also can do 1-2, and because it's +3, you can go for a 2-2 and then go into a combo from that with a cameo, or just go into 2-2 and then stance and throw them up in the air, right, to continue the combo. So you really want to take advantage of his like good advancing mids and his plus frames on block. You know, you can be cheeky. Let's say they don't fall for your stagger. Do 1-2. 2-2 stance and then do the 3 in the stance, and you're still like technically safe, right? And you can still pressure them with this, because look at the distance at which it puts you. Perfect for a back one. So this is what I would do on block all the time. 1-2, 2-2 stance, and then try to get a combo. So that is how I personally think he's going to play. He has some cheeky up close pressure, but he also has some really, really good advancing moves and staggers that you can use and abuse. So that's essentially what you want to do with this guy, right? You want to play mid-screen, space control, and then with punish. So when it comes to cameos for him, I see Frost being really good because you get like a full screen low projectile as well as his projectile immunity. Low projectile like grants you full combo, right? So that's gonna be really good, I think. Kung Lao, obviously, probably the best choice. That's who I would use personally, because he has an overhead off his 1-1 with Kung Lao's low hat that makes it a hard blockable, so you can get a full combo if you go into the stance and chuck them in the air, right? And similarly, you can get some pretty good combos off the pop-ups with Kung Lao as well, that I will show in the combo section. And other than that, like, it really depends on your playstyle and what you want to do, because he doesn't have like a lot of weaknesses apart from being pretty slow. That's his only weakness. So you want something to cover his gaps, right? Which you can do very well with low hat. Let me know which cameo you're going to use with him, but yeah, I would go for Kung Lao. So that's it for this guide. I hope this helped you really understand how to start playing Omni-Man and what his general game plan is. Let me know if you have found any other tech with him in the comments down below, with cameos or just by himself, right? This is really just like a day one thing to help you guys learn him quickly. As always, have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll see you all very soon.